Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this really cute dandelion inspired hair tie. This is one of those projects you can probably complete about 30 minutes if you dedicated that whole time to crocheting. It's a really quick gift that you can make for your friends, for your family, or even for yourself. Another reason I love this project is because it fits within my whole theme of cute and functional. If it's not cute and functional, then I will not be making it. Hey, it's Ken. If you're new to my channel, I create crochet and craft content. And the tutorial I'll be sharing with you today is inspired by visual artist Katarina's work. When I saw this, I wanted an accessory just like it, so I did my best to recreate it with crochet. Please check out Katarina's work. They use a lot of natural materials to create their stunning visual designs. So full credit for this concept goes to Katarina. For materials, you'll need white yarn for the dandelion puff. I'm using mohair, but that can be a bit pricey, so you can use any yarn weight or fiber type like this cotton yarn, though I don't recommend anything larger than a weight 3. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Mohair is on the left and a weight 3 cotton yarn is on the right. As you can see, the dandelion puff looks a bit different. The cotton yarn was also a little bit harder to cut and shape, but of course not impossible, so while you don't have to use mohair like I am, just keep in mind that the final look may be different from what I have. You'll also need green yarn for the stems and leaves. Again, any fiber type or weight works, but I wouldn't recommend anything over a weight 3 yarn. I'm using a weight 3 cotton yarn. Finally, gather a hair tie, scissors, a tapestry needle for weaving in ends, a crochet hook that matches the weight of your yarn, something to use as a stitch marker, and optionally a blocking board and pins. Here are the techniques we'll be using in this tutorial. If you're unfamiliar with any of these or maybe just need a refresher, I put together a playlist with tutorials for each of them. It's available in the description below. Let's get started. Grab your hair tie, make a slip knot, and add it to your hook. Thread the hook through the center of your hair tie, then grab your yarn in the other hand and adjust your grip so the tension is firm. Your slip knot should be right against the hair tie as you can see here. Next, you'll chain 1, then you'll single crochet around the hair tie. So insert your hook into the center, yarn over and pull through the center, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook to complete your first single crochet. We're going to repeat that. So again, insert your hook through the center, yarn over and pull through the center, yarn over, pull through 2 to complete your second single crochet. Continue to single crochet all around the hair tie until it's fully covered. You might need to adjust your stitches as you go to ensure the tie is completely hidden, so feel free to kind of scrunch the stitches back a bit as you go. So complete that and then meet me back for the next step. Once the hair tie fabric is no longer visible, so you should only see green, you'll slip stitch into your first single crochet. If your stitches got twisted along the way, you can stretch the tie and just adjust them with your hands to get the stitches all aligned. For our first leaf, chain 10 and then add one more chain for your turning stitch. The leaf will be about 3 inches if you're using a weight 3 yarn like me. For a larger leaf, add additional stitches in multiples of 3. In the second chain from your hook, add a single crochet. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. I like to place a stitch marker in my first stitch to clearly see where my row begins. Next, continue adding single crochets all the way down the chain until you have a total of 10 single crochets. Once you complete that, meet me back for the next step. Now that I've completed my 10 single crochets, I'm back down at the hair tie. Here, you'll skip one stitch and slip stitch into the one after. Then, in the following stitch, you'll add a single crochet. We'll repeat the same process for the second leaf. So chain 10 and then add one more for your turning stitch. So you'll have a total of 11 chains. Work 10 single crochets down the chain, starting in the second stitch from your hook. Complete that and meet me back for the next step. With 10 single crochets finished, we're back down at the hair tie. Again, we'll skip one stitch and slip stitch into the one after. At this point, your hair tie should look like it has 2 cute little legs. These are the center of our leaves. So before we continue, just a quick overview of our next steps. Now we'll crochet the first side of our first leaf, then the second. After that, we'll add 2 stems for our dandelion puff in the middle. Finally, we'll work the first side of our second leaf, followed by its second side. So let's continue. Chain 1 and turn your work. I'm going to be working in the top loop for this row, but that's completely optional, so feel free to skip that. In the first stitch, add a single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. In the next, you'll add a half double crochet. So yarn over first, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. In the third stitch, we'll add a treble. So yarn over twice, Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through those last 2. Then you'll chain 2. Next, to do the picote stitch, we will insert our hook from the top of our treble and go through the post. So insert your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and continue pulling through that 1 loop on your hook. In that same stitch, add a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. That completes your first 3-stitch cluster. We'll repeat that cluster 2 more times. So in the next stitch, add a single crochet. In the one after, a half double crochet. In the next stitch, add a treble crochet. Chain 2. Do a picote stitch, so you're inserting your hook from the top of your stitch and through the post. Then you'll pull through and keep pulling through that loop on your hook. Then add a half double crochet in the same stitch. That was your second cluster. Now we'll complete the third and final 3-stitch cluster on this side. And again, we're just repeating the previous 2 clusters. So in the next stitch, add a single crochet, then a half double crochet in the next stitch, and in the third stitch of your cluster, add a treble crochet, chain 2, do a picote stitch, and then add a half double crochet in that very same stitch. With all 3 clusters completed, you should now have 1 stitch left on your row. In this stitch, we will add a slightly different cluster to create the tip of the leaf. So we're going to do 4 stitches all in the same space. So do a half double crochet, a treble crochet, chain 2, do a picote stitch, and finally a half double crochet, again all in the very same stitch. This will naturally curve your work, bringing you to the other side where we'll repeat those 3 clusters. The stitches here aren't as distinct as before on the other side, so you'll need to eyeball where you place your hook a little bit. You can use the stitches from the previous side as a reference. For example, I'll work my next stitch into the top of the half double crochet from the last cluster so you can kind of see the posts from the previous stitches. So just place your new stitches kind of above those. Now simply repeat the clusters we did on the other side. So for our first one on this side, again, you'll add a single crochet. In the next stitch, add a half double crochet. Then in the third stitch, work a treble. Chain 2. Add a picote stitch. Add another half double crochet, all in that very same stitch. So pause the video, repeat this 2 more times for a total of 3 clusters on this side, then we'll move on to the next steps. Your leaf is now complete. Slip stitch into the next stitch to finish it. Now let's create our dandelion stem. Chain 4 inches. For me, this was about 20 chains, but feel free to adjust it based on your yarn type and your desired length. In the second chain from your hook, add a slip stitch. I'm working in the back loops for a cleaner edge, but that's totally optional. So continue to slip stitch all along the chain until you reach the end. Once you're at the end, slip stitch into the next stitch on the hair tie. We're going to create a second stem, so you'll just repeat what we previously did, chain another 4 inches, and slip stitch all the way back down the chain. This brings you back to the hair tie. Slip stitch into the next stitch there. This brings you to your second leaf. You'll repeat the same pattern that we did for the first leaf. So again, that's 3 clusters along the first edge, the cluster for the tip of the leaf, and then the final 3 clusters on the second edge. Pause the video, complete this leaf, and then meet me back for the next steps. With your second leaf finished, you'll skip 1 stitch and slip stitch into the one after. Then cut your working yarn, yarn over, and pull through to secure your work. Now I'm going to block the piece. This step is completely optional, but it really helps define the edges of your leaves. Once I've pinned it securely in place, I'll leave it to set for a couple of days. While that's setting, let's create our dandelion puffs. So take your white yarn and start wrapping it around 3 of your fingers. Keep wrapping until it feels nice and puffy, roughly half an inch thick, but that doesn't have to be an exact measurement. You can just kind of do it until you're happy with the thickness. Then you'll cut the working yarn and carefully slide the wrapped yarn off your fingers. Lay a piece of your green yarn flat on your table, place the white puff onto the green yarn, take the ends of the green yarn and tie a knot around the puff. Keep repeating this, tying a few more knots to make sure it's extra secure. To make sure the puff's opening is truly open, I just use my crochet hook to gently stretch and adjust the threads. Once the opening is clear, you'll just insert your scissors through it and cut all of the threads. Repeat this on the other side of the puff. Next, you can roll the puff between your hands to really fluff it up. This creates your dandelion puff. You can then trim it to refine the shape if needed. Repeat all of these steps to create a second puff. Now it's time to assemble everything together. If you blocked your piece, carefully remove all the pins. Then you'll thread the 2 green yarn tails from one of your puffs onto your tapestry needle. Insert the needle into the end of one of the green stems and pull the tails all the way through. Use these 2 tails to tie a couple of secure knots, fastening the puff firmly to the stem. Then you'll weave in the remaining ends and trim any excess yarn. Repeat this entire process for the second puff. Finally, weave in any loose ends on your piece and you're all done. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Your support helps me grow and continue bringing you more free crochet patterns just like this one. And if you're looking for more projects, feel free to check out my other tutorials. A friendly reminder that this pattern is for personal use only. It is a direct inspiration from Katarina's works, so please, please, please be especially mindful to not sell the final product or sell the written pattern. Thank you.